Currently walking into this store is a woman named Jennifer Siebert. Hours ago, her coworker Jolene Cummings disappeared, with her family scrambling to find traces of her, a disappearance that these very cameras are about to solve. Because Jennifer would be recorded disposing of Jolene's remains in this white trash bag, and as police begin talking to her,
"We've got the video of you. I think Jolene's dead, and I think you know where Jolene is."
they will realize Jennifer Siebert isn't Jennifer at all. For over 20 years, this woman has lived under 19 different aliases, fled 14 states and 33 cities, all while being wanted by the FBI, leaving victim after victim in her path. Now, detectives have two simple questions. Who is this woman, and how many people has she killed?
I've been living under this particular alias since 1999. I've been running from the FBI for over 25 years. Pull my name up.
Midday on May 13, 2018, the mother of 33-year-old hairstylist Jolene Cummings called Nassau County Sheriff's Department to file a missing persons report. It was not only Mother's Day, but Jolene's birthday, and Jolene had been scheduled to spend the day with her two sons, as well as her mom for a big celebration. But the morning came and went. The texts and calls everyone made to Jolene went unanswered. The last person to have seen Jolene, her coworker Jennifer Siebert, said nothing was out of the ordinary when they parted ways shortly after closing on the night of the 12th. By noon on the 13th, Jolene's mom knew something was deeply, deeply wrong. Those fears were confirmed when 2 days after Jolene was last seen, her car was discovered abandoned in the back of a Home Depot parking lot near her job at Tangle's Hair Salon. When police reviewed the footage, they expected to see Jolene stepping out of the car. Instead, they saw her coworker, Jennifer Siebert. A further review of footage painted a horrific picture. An hour after closing time on the day Jolene went missing, Jennifer was spotted buying an electric carving knife and cleaning supplies at a local Walmart, which is frankly never a good thing to be buying together, especially not when you consider what Jennifer was caught on camera doing next. She then returned to Tangle's, where she was captured on camera disposing of several trash bags in the dumpster behind the business. After several hours, she got into Jolene's car and drove it to the Home Depot, where she then abandoned it. Every action caught on camera told police a story they couldn't ignore, that Jennifer had killed and disposed of her coworker and then abandoned her car to make it look like she wasn't involved. Immediately, police launched an investigation to locate Jennifer and have her arrested on charges of grand theft auto, hoping that the arrest would lead them to information on Jolene's disappearance. Instead, the investigation opened a can of worms that they still haven't closed. After Jennifer Siebert was arrested at a truck stop, she told them nonchalantly that her fingerprints would come back under a different name, because her real name was Kimberly Kessler, and she had been on the run from the FBI for 25 years.
My name's Wayne, this is Charlie.
Hey,
We want to talk to you for a few minutes. What name do you want me to call you? Because I was talking to the detective that drove you up and he said I might have been calling you by the wrong name.
It's funny that St. John's didn't tell you. When you run my fingerprints through, they come up as Kimberly Lee Kessler. I was born in May of 1968, May 9th. I am 50 years old. I've been running from the FBI for over 25 years. I've been living under this particular alias since 1999, so not quite 1999. This is 18, yeah, about 19 years. And that's about it. So I would prefer to be called Kim.
Okay.
But
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm calling you by your right name.
But if you run them through, I mean, the last time I got picked up was back in 1999, and I bonded out, and it took them, I don't remember, it was a couple of weeks, I don't know if it was 2.5 weeks or 3.5 weeks before they actually, matched them up. Yeah, it didn't but that was 1999, so maybe it was a little bit slower then.
Okay.
But I don't know, there's lots of people on the face of the planet, so maybe it still takes time. I'm not sure.
And it may be too that since you've had this alias for so long, you've probably done a lot of stuff since that time, and so you've actually kind of got you've got a history under that name, so it probably shows up in different databases and stuff like that. And that's just a guess, and maybe that's why it's happening like that.
Oh no, fingerprints are fingerprints.
Fingerprints are fingerprints, and I agree. but I have.
I didn't erase them with acid, so they are the same. Just saying.
And I agree with you, but I haven't run your fingerprints. And if St. John's did, they failed to notify us that of the different names. So I apologize
Perhaps they just thought I was a nut job, so they just ignored me. But it will eventually come up. So okay, thanks.
Kimberly here is really proud that she's been living a complete lie for nearly 3 decades. But how can someone even pull that off? Well, in the 90s, it was a lot easier. If you're Kimberly Kessler way back in 1993, for example, you bring your boyfriend to the local cemetery under the guise of visiting your father's grave. Then, instead, you scope out the gravestones of girls who were born around the same year as you. And that is precisely how Kimberly Kessler landed on the identity of Jennifer Siebert, by stealing her details off of this gravestone and then pretending to be her, off and on, for the better part of 25 years. But there were 18 other names that Kim used, all taken from various graves across the country, and all used to do unthinkable things.
Does your family know you, or you don't want your family?
I haven't. No, that's fine. I haven't talked to them in a while. I have cousins and all that. All my people are there.
Do you not want to spend time with them anymore, or just?
Yeah, I'd like to. I'm ready to go back to being myself. I spent, about 25 years running from the FBI, and thought I could build like a life for myself, and I've done nothing. I've been living I've been trying. I've been living in my car for the last over 2 years. Okay. It's not getting any better.
I would like to know, and I'm not the FBI, I'm not a federal law enforcement agent or anything like that, but, I kind of like to hear the background of why, for the last 25 years.
Pull it all up. Pull it up on the computer. Pull my name up. Pull it up. Kimberly Kessler.
And
you should be able to pull that up.
What I'll do
It'll be fascinating.
If you'll give me a minute, mm-hmm. I'll step outside, and my crime analyst is actually here, and I'll give her that information and let her work on that.
Yeah, Kimberly Lee Kessler. It's kind of a silly middle name, isn't it? It's like my mom stuttered. I'm just saying, I never really cared for it. Her name, actually, she has 2 birth certificates, but only 1 social security card, and her father named constantly. Mm-hmm. Her mother hated it.
So do you plan on going back and reunite with your family, or you have decided, or what?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just time. I'm 50 years old. I am 50, and I'm
think that's quite.
It doesn't matter. So. Looks are deceiving, obviously. Some people look young, some people look whatever. It doesn't even matter.
You have children?
I do. I have a son. He is in North Carolina with his father. That's what got me going, running again in 1999. Child Protective Services snatched him while I was at work from the babysitter, and that really sent me over the edge. So, thankfully, his father got him. He told me that the judge told him, or the judge said to CPS, "Why won't you give this man his son? Like, why are you fighting against him?" And the judge made him get our son. And so, thankfully, my son is 20 years old now. I haven't seen him since he was 14 months old. I'm very grateful that his father got to raise him. I did not want him in foster care. It scared me to death. I couldn't even understand why they took him. So that sent me on my last 19-year run.
I can completely understand why they took her son. On August 3rd, 1999, Kimberly Kessler was spotted by her neighbor in Virginia Beach digging a hole in her yard in the blistering sun. At the time, Kimberly was going by the name Christina Brooke, and whether you call her Christina or Kimberly, it was clear something wasn't right. Because that day, Kimberly held her 15-month-old son Evan in her arms and told her neighbor that she was digging a grave. Authorities were called and swiftly took Evan out of Kimberly's custody to safely assess her, but they didn't get a chance to do that. Before their scheduled meeting, Kimberly stormed into the office with a gun and demanded to see her son. She was arrested and taken into custody, where police discovered she had a kidnapping kit in her purse, duct tape, zip ties, and a taser, which really makes you wonder, how many times had Kimberly jumped off the deep end like this and packed those same exact items to use? As a result of the attack, Kimberly's ex-boyfriend, the father of her son, was given full custody of their son, and from there Kimberly's identities continued to evolve, and so did her crimes. If you want to see more twisted cases like this one, be sure to like and subscribe. It's literally all we do here.
Well, it sounds like even though the trials and tribulations you've been going through, at least that hasn't been.
I try to keep a good sense of humor, and I try to be, I try. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or rude or flippant. I'm not trying to be flippant. I'm just trying to keep it kind of real and light, but I'm not trying to be flippant or sarcastic or anything. Yeah. But I am trying to keep it light because, it just helps. It's laugh or cry, man. Laugh or cry. So I'm gonna choose to laugh.
So what do you hope now as far as, I
am very grateful my son is alive and well. I was scared his whole life. I've been praying for that boy forever. I'm like,
is he a good dad? How old's your son now?
He's 20. His dad, he's alive, so I'm grateful. And I'm not trying to, God bless him. Yeah. The last words I spoke to his dad, I gave him that Volkswagen Bug. Mm-hmm. He was talking about, I can't remember what he was talking about, that one of the last times I talked to him, but he said he sold, they got the money. And I'm like, did you get Evan? He said, no. I said, what? I said, did you get Evan? And he said, no. And I said, I gave you that Volkswagen to get Evan. I said, you better get Evan, so help me God, I'll kill you. And he got Evan. And then I never really talked to him again. He had Evan and he raised him. And Evan's 20 years old now. I'm like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. But I think Tim's hooked on.
What's Tim do?
He works on Volkswagen Bugs. So that's how I met him. So, but yeah, he did get Evan, you know, and I'd never talked to him that way before. So maybe it shocked him.
It takes a lot of, and what really interests me is you fascinate me. I'm going to tell you, because this is like, I'm like,
I love my son. I love him. I'm very grateful he's alive and well. I was so scared his whole life. You have no idea. His dad has his problems, and I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm going to try not to say anything bad about him, because I'm very grateful that he went and he got him. I'm very grateful. And he held on to him and raised him. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So for those alone, I'm just grateful. I am so grateful my son is alive and well. You don't have any idea. I'm so scared. His dad, no one's perfect, right? So I don't know. We all have our whatever. There's some stories I could probably tell, but he told me that with his sister-in-law that I couldn't believe it. And I saw it on the news later. Whoa, curl some hair. I might hold that back for the FBI. Unbelievable, because after I saw it years later, because I don't have a TV and I see it on the internet or whatever, and I'm like, I remember him telling me about that. They really did that. Oh my God. Did you ever have that?
Well, you may have some stuff that you can help out with that can help you with the situation you're in. I don't know,
but I'm grateful my son's alive and well. I'm so grateful. So grateful. And his dad, one of the things his dad did whenever Evan was like 3 months old, and I don't even know why. I think he was on drugs. He always said he wasn't, but he acted so wild.
Your son's name is Evan, right?
Yes, Evan, and his dad's name's Tim. Tim Evan's name is Evan, and I was going by Christina Brooke at the time. But here's the thing. Evan's alive and well. He didn't kill him.
Do you plan on trying to reconcile with Evan?
That's my baby. That's my son. That's my only child. He was a baby. I don't know, 14 months, 15 months. I have pictures on the iPhone of him, a couple of them that I found on the internet. So, but yeah, I haven't seen him since he was a baby.
Kimberly's husband would later tell police that he was beyond thankful that their son, Evan, was too young to really remember his mother. He remembered Kimberly, or Christina as he knew her, as a violent, angry, pathological liar. At the time, he was told that Christina wasn't her real name, but he was under the impression that she had changed her name to hide from her family, who she claimed abused her. Spoiler alert, they didn't, but Kimberly sure did.
And I was under the name Christina Brooke at the time. Yeah, the names go on, don't they?
Wow.
And, 25 years, I mentioned I've been running from the FBI. They'll have a list of everything. So,
how long have you been cutting hair?
I've been cutting hair since I was a kid, but I actually got into the professional with a license 4 years ago.
I guess that works well if you're moving around a lot. I guess it's
no, you can wait tables or whatever. I have driven tractor and trailer, which I did in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Did I mention one in Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Arizona? So I also had a real estate license in Arizona. It goes on and on. I didn't really sell anything though. Here's the thing. It's just, I guess it requires I just thought that, okay, so my grandparents on my father's side of the family made a lot of money.
Real estate or?
No. No. Actually estate sales. Lots and lots and lots of money. Unbelievable amounts. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to make money. Well, no. It requires a special blessing from God. It also requires help. What I noticed in the last 25 years of being on my own, especially after my son was taken, I didn't let anybody get really too close to me. I did get into abusive relationships. That was foolish. And then I really kept everybody at arm's length, but never really let too many people get close to me. It is virtually impossible to take care of oneself by yourself. You can't do it.
It's funny because
you gotta have somebody. You gotta have a wife, or you gotta have people. You can't do it by yourself. So
it's amazing though that for 25. I mean, it's amazing to me that because you always hear about people going, oh my gosh, I just want to start over. I just want to be somebody else. I just want a whole new identity.
No,
but then if you ever really look into it, I mean, it's complicated. It's complicated.
It's very complicated. It's very complicated. So,
Over the course of 25 years, Kimberly went by 18 different names and lived in over 33 cities, ranging from Fairbanks, Alaska to Minnesota to Kansas, all the way down to the tip of Florida. With all of those names and all of the known locations, police have a web of unsolved murders and missing persons. And now, a new question. How many of those were caused by Kimberly Kessler?
that's one of my first relationships in Arizona. He robbed banks. And I met him. I was working as a topless dancer, and that was before my truck driving debut. So, and I did that just for a little while. I love to dance, and I don't know. I was young, and it didn't bother me, but then it bothered me. I'm like, what am I? It like starts to wear on you. Like you start to feel like dirty, and I'm like, man, I can't do this anymore. But so I met him at a topless bar in Phoenix, and just started going out with him and whatever, and he was with me whenever he called somebody and they said, the FBI is looking for you. And he's like, oh my God. And then he tells me everything. Oh, I robbed these banks. So I'm like, you what? Wow. Here's me. Where's the money?
So
he had no money, and I hid him in my apartment, and that was like kind of almost the beginning.
Are you going to write a book one day?
I don't even know if anyone believes me. But the FBI has a record, so you know it's true, okay? Look it up. It sounds like a bunch of crap. Look it up. They have a record. It's true.
You got an interesting story. That's
but he had where I was going with that, he had a Baja bug. So.
Wow. So was that, and you said that was when it all first started. Is that when you kind of first went on the road?
No, I had two IDs at the time. I had myself and then my other ID. And I kind of started. I got my real estate license, and then that's when it started because I used my other ID and I got printed. Mm-hmm. And I had been printed once before. What was I printed once before for? I don't know. Pull it up. It's kind of like, just pull it up.
Well, you've done pretty good being around for
25 years. Thank you.
It's tiring.
I'm 50, man.
It's got to be tiring though. Are you okay if I ask my crime analyst to run the name?
Please do.
Because I'm curious. Now you got me.
I'm glad I sparked your interest. I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up. Interest me again.
You're not judging with me, right? You're not.
Do it, please. You'll see my mug. I'll look a lot younger then.
Okay.
And thinner too. I won't be 200 pounds. I'll be about 20.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir.
I'm making any judgments. You can fit in your pants and zippers, not me.
Give me the full name?
Kimberly.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid middle name, Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Kessler.
K-E-S-S.
Just like the cheap whiskey that no one drinks.
Police leave the room to check with their crime analyst to see if they've uncovered any information about Kimberly Kessler's apparent #1 most wanted designation on the FBI's list. And when they return, they have questions. Because whatever crimes Kim has committed, they aren't in her files, which only complicates things and deepens their dread.
Well, Kim,
I didn't lie.
well, she's still working on stuff, but she found this right away.
Oh, my
Is that it?
Yeah, it's me. I was lying younger back. Stop taking back. Yeah, squinting my eyes. You know what? She wanted me to open my eyes there in Tennessee because they wanted to scan them and I wouldn't open them. See how squinty my eyes are? The woman kept saying, open your eyes. Open your eyes. No, this one. Open your eyes.
I was going to say, your eyes look good.
Open your eyes.
Is that a driver's license?
Yeah. Open your eyes. I wouldn't do it. I was like, kept them squinted until she finally gave in and took the picture because I didn't want my eyes scanned.
It's not,
That's me with short hair.
it's not saying that you're wanted though, it's just saying that you're a missing person. Why would you be wanted?
No. I have aliases. I have IDs. I was Christina Brooke whenever I had my son.
Well,
I was
what name
Melissa
are you wanted
McKernan.
under though?
I am Kimberly Kessler. That's
No, but you said you're wanted. You've been running from the FBI. Why? What do you?
So whenever they snatched my son, I went out and bought a gun.
Okay.
And whenever I went to visit my son, I planned on taking him.
Uh-huh.
I never made it to see him. That he wasn't there anyways, and I got arrested for having a gun.
Oh, what state was that in?
Virginia. And that's when another time whenever the run began. But I also was running, let's see, so in Arizona, I used the ID Melissa McKernan. Pull it up. It should come up. Melissa McKernan, and went for the real estate license. And there you get fingerprinted. Well, I was fingerprinted once before as Kimberly Kessler for trouble I'd gotten into prior. So whenever it ran through, you know, they're like, I got in trouble. They were looking for me then. They're like, we show you these fingerprints come up as Kimberly Kessler, but you say you're Melissa McKernan. I'm like, So, so it started. It just goes on and on. Now that's probably my mother saying I'm a missing person. I'm not missing. I'm just.
Yeah, that's the only thing, you know. Well, like I said, she's still looking, but immediately whenever she puts your real name in, this is the first thing that popped up, and I looked at it and I said, I can see the smile. And I can kind of see it in the nose, especially in the black and white picture, because it's a little bit clearer than the one on the right.
Kimberly disappeared in 2004, completely cutting contact with her mother and siblings. Her siblings, frankly, weren't sad to see her go. On one occasion in her teen years, Kimberly attacked her brother with a baseball bat while he was sleeping. So clearly, the violent, insane tendencies go way, way back. In fact, it took her mother 10 years to report her missing. It wasn't until 2014 that her mom filed a missing persons report, wanting to know if her daughter was living or dead. And out there, police assumed there were other families wondering that same thing about their loved ones. Missing loved ones who had had the misfortune of crossing paths with Kimberly Kessler.
But like I said, I don't see where, as far as them saying you're wanted anywhere. I mean, she can run it on farther out.
When you
I
got
am
arrested
wanted in
in her-
Arizona for, I guess, just fraud because I am Kim Kessler and
Just
I
because of trying to
got
get the license.
fingerprints. I did get the license.
Oh, okay.
They issued it to me, and then later they came back with fingerprints. It took longer to run through in like the early 90s. It took like months. So maybe even longer than that. And then they came back and they're like, the FBI. They actually, I don't know how I got the message, but I called him and he was like, I'm blah, 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 FBI. And I'm like, he's like, are you Melissa McKernan? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, well, I also show you as Kimberly Kessler. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what did you do? And I couldn't remember. All I could say, I think all I said was like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. And I hung up on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my boyfriend take me to the airport and I flew back to Virginia.
Wow.
That
Well,
was
what
that.
was the charge in Virginia? Do they have a carrying? Was it just
Virginia's
concealed
probably
weapon,
for
or
the weapon thing, and then they're still trying to do something with it. They were
is
trying
it
to
illegal
take.
to have a weapon in Virginia, or just?
I think probably whenever you're going to. I plan on taking my son back. That's what I
Did you
plan on
bond
doing.
out, or did you do time?
I bonded out, so I never went back for
Oh,
any.
so
Yeah,
you probably
that too.
You may
There's
have a
lots of
failure
things.
you may have a failure to appear then. Or something.
That as well. But I'm just very grateful that my son went with a family member with his father because I was terrified of what they were going to do to him. I'm like, what? Why do you want my son? It made no sense. I mean, you may not believe me on that, whatever, but I'm telling you, to me as a mother, I'm like, take my son.
So
I'm
far,
like,
what you know, when we first started talking, I'm like, she's, but
No, I am.
There's some, you know.
and that, I can't believe it. Come on. You can't pull me up. Do you need to print me?
No, they're working on that.
Yeah.
But I was
It
like,
shouldn't
that's
take
not,
that long. It's a
that's
computer.
okay.
It's 2018.
yeah, well,
It's not
we
1992.
I actually had to call our crime analyst back in. She was probably like, it's Friday night. So,
Oh, is it? Okay.
yeah, so she's probably not happy with me right now.
Sorry.
No, it's not very good. It's all
I told them
she'll get paid overtime.
St.
for it.
John's ignored it. I'm like, okay. Whenever I went before whoever, I told him my name is. I've been running from the FBI for over. I think I said with him only 20 years, but it's longer than that.
Was that the judge or one of the detectives down there?
I don't know, wherever they take you in before somebody. So I was with all these other people who stood, I guess, before a judge. But I said, my name is Kimberly Lee Kessler. My birthday, I've been running from the FBI for.
Well, I appreciate you being honest.
Told him, and I think he just laughed at me. So Here's the deal. In 2015, after I got my cosmetology license in 2014, I didn't have a car yet, I just had my motorcycle, up to North Carolina, rode my motorcycle. Hold on, I'll answer maybe 20 more questions.
Okay.
Let me tell my little story that is boring to you,
Okay.
sorry. So I went up there and I planned on seeing him. I wanted to see him. I wanted to somehow like get a job in a barbershop or Great Clips nearby and, you know, maybe somehow get involved in his life. But I ended up, that's when I broke my leg, and then I ended up having to go up to, you know, Minnesota because they have free health insurance. And then I came back to Florida because I couldn't afford. Like I tried North Carolina again, but the state income tax is too much. And I had a car at the time to live in, but it's just too hard. It's just way too hard. But I was hoping to somehow get involved in his life. But, you know.
It's not too late.
Well, now I'm like, okay, I'm on the map again. I'm on the grid. Hi. I'm not going to do it discreetly as, you know, Jennifer or whatever. But
Speaking of on the map, do you know why you're here?
yes, I'm being accused. You accused me the other night of, you're like, where's Jolene at? So, and I do not know where she is.
Because that's, you know, and the other night, and I think I apologized to you the other night because, you know, when I talk to you and tell you that family means a lot to me, you know, a couple of days ago, I met Jolene's two sons, and I mean, they were literally, I call it, and it's probably not the best term to use because people will look at it and go, that's kind of a prejudice statement. And I don't mean it that way, but, you know, my mom, when I was a kid, she'd say, stop running around like a wild Indian. I mean, that's what it reminded me of, because her two little kids were just, literally, I'm standing there, and one of them's running between my legs, just running around, and they're all over the floor, and I'm like, you know, they were running around like wild Indians. I don't mean that in a negative way. And it was just, you know, it broke my heart, because I was like, you know, where is she? You know, she had been reported missing. They said, you know, there's no way that she's not going to be with her kids. And so I probably come across harsh when I talked to you the other day. And for that, you know, I didn't mean anything by it. But like I said, I want to be able to find her, and I want to be able to get her back with her little boy. It's just like, you need to go and be with Evan. She needs to be with her kids. Okay. So again, if I come across, you know,
you're just doing your job. I understand.
But it's more, it is my job. But at the same time, I try not to let you know, in my job, you try not to let your emotions get involved, but sometimes, even I've been doing it for 21 years, sometimes I let things get to me that I shouldn't let get to me, and at least until later on when I'm not trying to have a conversation with somebody.
Well,
you kind of put those things to the side and you worry about them later, and maybe I didn't do a good job of that when I started talking to you.
You're fine. And feelings are just kind of a funny thing, because I was raised by kind of stout German people that are like, suck it up, you don't show feelings, I'll beat you until you stop crying. So we're like, we finally learned. It only took a couple beatings, and we're like, okay, we got this under control. But feelings are like a funny thing, because you got to somehow deal with them. And I've never really quite figured that one out. Like, where do you stuff them? Well, I stuff them in different places, then I end up stuffing my face because I'm going to do something wrong to, like, try to quelch that. Because we all have, you know, feelings that are positive. Not everyone's happy. I mean, we all have things in our life, you know? So, and I stuff it with food, which is not good. And other people do it with drugs and alcohol or whatever. The right way to do it is, like, going to the gym.
Yeah, or, you know.
Remember why Kimberly was here in the first place. Because Jolene, a dedicated mother of two, talented hairstylist and loving daughter, was missing, and Kimberly was the last one to ever see her as they were closing at Tangle's hair salon on May 12th. And sadly, the police believe that's where Jolene died. When police searched the salon, they discovered blood evidence and evidence that there had been an attempt to deep clean the entire salon. And wouldn't you know, Kimberly was caught on camera buying cleaning chemicals and an electric carving knife that very night, right before she was captured on camera, throwing multiple plastic bags into the dumpster behind Tangle's. Kimberly has no idea that she was captured on camera, but she's about to find out.
Is there, you know, and again, you know, can we, I don't think we talked much about it the other night because, like I said, I probably didn't handle it as professional as I should have. But can we just go through when you work with her on that Saturday? So is there anything you can tell me that, did she ever talk to you about a boyfriend? I know she's had a husband. I know she had a boyfriend. Did she ever talk about anybody she was scared of? Did she ever say anything that she wanted to run away and get away from it all? I mean, you know.
I don't remember hearing anything. She would have different conversations sometimes with different clients, because different clients, you don't tell every client. You know what I mean? Like, but the one client that, what was it? The one I told you, what was it? She was saying CPS came to her house. She was telling one client that I caught a little blip of it in between listening to YouTube and the phone ringing. And I remember hearing her say she thought her ex-husband or her husband was doing it to get out of paying child support. That's all I heard. And I don't remember ever hearing about a boyfriend ever. But then again, I don't always really pay attention. And as I told you before, Miss Ann, she really talked to Miss Ann. Like, her and Miss Ann would go out back and they smoke cigarettes together. They sit out back sometimes for a while. And they would even forget that their clients were in. I'd have to go in the back and be like, hey, your clients are here. Because they would get so involved and talk. So I don't know as much as, maybe Miss Ann. And honestly, whenever I first started, she would tell me, I don't even remember what, she started telling me some things, and I would be like, I am not the person that asked. I can't give you any good
Now,
counsel.
did she tell you who she was hanging around with, or was she into anything that maybe she shouldn't have been
She
into?
would just say to me, the time or two that she'd say, I'm just going home and having a quiet night at home, or I don't have the kids tonight, or, whatever, I'm just going to enjoy this. And I'd be like, you're young, why don't you go out? She's like, no, I don't need a man in my life. But here she had a boyfriend. I didn't even know that.
Everyone at Tangles had issues with Kimberly, so there's a good reason why she didn't know much about Jolene. Kim routinely tattled on coworkers, texting the boss to report when they were as little as 30 seconds late, and making false claims that they were taking money out of the register. A few days prior to Jolene's death, Kim texted the boss stating that Jolene had taken a lot of money out of the register for her own use, but she hadn't. On top of that, in an incident that you're about to hear Kimberly lie about, the workers at Tangles discovered a baggie with white substances in it at the salon. Kimberly began to claim that the bag belonged to Jolene, despite Jolene never doing substances and having been nowhere near where the bag was found. Kimberly wasn't just paranoid, she was vindictive, and according to all of the workers at Tangles, she seemed to be jealous of Jolene, who had loyal customers and a big group of people who loved her. Jolene became the target of her anger, one of many throughout her decades of living life on the outskirts.
Was she involved in any bad habits or anything that could get her in trouble?
I can't say that she did, but I did find a bag that I believe had crystal in it, just a little bit in the bottom, a tiny baggie back by the back door. At first I thought, well, maybe it's Vicky's daughter, whatever her name is, Whitney, because I heard she had a drug habit, but hers, that's not crystal. And I didn't even know what it was at first. And it was actually Jolene who said, that's a drug baggie. And I'm like, really? She said, yeah, that's drugs. She goes, do you know what kind of drugs it is? I said, I don't know. It could be bath salts. They look kind of like crystals. And I ended up looking up on the internet, and I believe it was crystals.
How much was it?
Just a little bit at the bottom, but enough that you could see it was crystals. And I'm like, and then as I started watching YouTube videos and trying to get myself educated on drugs, the behaviors and so forth, I'm like, well, maybe it was Jolene's. But at first I didn't think it was hers. I thought it was maybe Vicky's daughter, Whitney, because Whitney has a drug problem, but I didn't know exactly what at the time. And then later I found out it's Whitney, I don't know.
Did you guys ever hang out after work? Did you ever go anywhere
No.
together? Okay. She ever allowed to use your car? You allowed to use her car? Did you ever go anywhere together like that?
No.
Okay.
But you asked me all that before and answered before, so
Okay.
that's all right. I mean,
I think when we were, the charge you were arrested on is a grand theft auto charge. You knew that, correct?
yes.
Okay. And that was kind of what I was talking with you about the other day. And the reason you're charged with that is because whenever we talked about that, there's video of you dropping her car off at the Home Depot parking lot there in Yulee and walking across and going into the gate station and getting a taxi cab back down to, they had it listed as back down there to where Tangles is, okay? And that's why you're charged with a grand theft auto. And I'm not trying to trick you, I'm not trying to fool you. You're open it up to me and I'm opening it up to you, okay? That's the reason you're charged with that. You're not charged with anything else, okay? But something happened to Jolene. And, you know, we actually sent our crime scene unit out to process tangles. And there was some evidence there, okay? We have also, and I don't want you to think I've been fooling you, I just want to talk to you and get to know you a little bit, because I think something something that you didn't plan happened. But let me tell you what we did, okay? Because I just want to be honest with you, because I think something bad happened that you didn't intend to happen. But we have, taken a look at your car, and we went out and went to your storage unit on the island. And we did that all on a legal basis. We had search warrants for a while, okay? We've got the video of you when you go in and buy the water, you bought it on your credit card. You paid for the cab on your credit card. You used the clerk's phone to make the phone call to the cab company.
After Kimberly parked Jolene's car at a Home Depot, hoping to make it look like she was a runaway or had been kidnapped by someone else, she then walked to a nearby gas station, where she used the employee's phone to call a cab for herself to go back to Tangles. She thought that would help her get away with the murder, but instead the surveillance there sealed her fate and opened the investigation of a lifetime for law enforcement.
We also have recovered your shoes that has Jolene's blood on your shoes. So I just want you to, if something happened that you didn't intend to happen, I want to talk to you about it. I don't think you're an evil person. I don't think you're a mean person. I think you have done one hell of a job getting through the last 25 years. And I just want you to be honest with me. You're ready to make a new start. You're ready to start over.
I don't think there's really a new start. I mean, my life, I'm 50 years old. I don't see anything foreseeable great in my life. I give up, man. I give up. I'll keep breathing and praying, and that's about it.
Well, let me put it to you this way.
I don't see anything panning out.
But listen to me. I get it, and I
tried as hard as I could.
I would probably agree with you as far as that dream life that everybody's going to have is probably at 50 years old with everything that you've been through is probably not going to happen.
No.
But I'll tell you what else what I do believe, and I'm being sincere about this, because I've seen people that I've sit in here and talked to, and like I said, only one out of 100, usually I'll see them 3 or 4 years later and I'm going, things are great, things are much better. I haven't been in any trouble, I've turned things around. But I have seen a lot of people that when they come in here and we first start talking, they're carrying a big, heavy burden. And you've been carrying not just, I think, what recently happened, you've been carrying some other burdens from what you're telling me. I don't see where you want it anywhere else, but.
Oh, I am. I can't believe it hasn't come up yet. The computer's really that slow.
But I've seen it. They may have it in there. She may have it, but I want to talk to you. I don't want to keep up and keep leaving. So it says she may very well have that now. But I've seen people when they finally go, okay, I'm tired of running. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being something that I'm not. And, even if it means that they're going to have to make some more sacrifices and some bad stuff's going to come towards them, just the weight off their shoulders. I mean, there's sometimes I sit here and you can literally see them just kind of go, and it's like, I'm ready to tell the truth. I'm ready to do this, And I don't think you're bad. I don't think you're evil. I think and I got to tell you, we've talked to the owner of the business, and I know that she was kind of said some negative things to you that day. She said that she thought you were fake, she thought you were phony, and she was going to look you up.
Police have blood evidence not just in the vehicle and all through the salon, but they have Jolene's blood on Kimberly's shoes, making her involvement absolutely undeniable. And yet she refuses to budge. Though it's clearly pretty easy to push Kimberly's buttons, because all it took for her to kill Jolene was a single threat. The day before Jolene was killed, she got into a verbal altercation after she caught Kimberly eavesdropping on a private conversation she was having with her boss regarding family matters. Jolene asked Kimberly to give them privacy, and Kimberly just smiled. After weeks of random accusations, threats, and nasty words from Kimberly, Jolene finally called her out. She said she was fake, that there was something wrong with her, and she was going to figure out what she was up to. Jolene saw through the 25 years of aliases, lies, and manipulation, and for Kim, that was the ultimate threat, because she had plenty to hide.
I think Jolene's dead, and I think you know where Jolene is, and I don't want to go tell her ex. You know, I know that she didn't have a great relationship with her ex, but I know she loved those 2 boys. I don't want them to. I dread the point, but it's going to happen. I'm going to have to tell them that their mom is gone. Okay.
Tell me, and I need to know where
But I need to at least let them be able to give her a proper. She's out there somewhere. Her body's out there somewhere. Let us get her buried properly, or whatever final arrangements they need to take care of. You know, I just want you to think about it for a minute. We're going to find out what happened. I don't mean that in a threat. I don't mean that in a bad way. I've been here for 4 days, almost 16, 18 hours a day, because I'm going to find out where those little boys' mama is. I promise you I'm going to do that. You can help me do that. And you're the one that can make it happen right now.
No, I cannot, and I'm not, again, whatever fury may come,
How did her blood get on your
So let me reply it this way, and you may not like the answer. I would like legal counsel. I haven't been able to call anybody. I haven't been able to call my mom, and I see how that works. And that may still continue to go on. I may not be able to call anybody. You just stick me in jail, and I'll sit there, and I can't call anybody, and on we go. That's fine.
I can't speak for what, when you were held.
I couldn't call anybody. I couldn't call my mom. I couldn't call anybody. Nothing.
I can assure you, when you get to our facility, we will uphold the letter of laws, or whatever the policy is, or whatever legal and rights
And I
you
don't-
have,
okay.
those will be upheld.
Well, they weren't so far, so I don't really even expect them to be. That's what I saw down there. They didn't pay attention to me. That's fine. I'm expecting that's I heard that Southern jails, that's what happened. So I'm like, I'm
That's not
perfectly expecting it to be really bad.
That's not
So-
going to happen here. I promise you that.
Virginia Beach,
So
I
do
was
you
pretty bad.
not want to?
It was.
Let me clarify.
They
Do you not want to
extradited me
talk
from
to me?
Arizona.
Do you not want to talk to me without legal counsel? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Do you need a drink of water? Do you need to go to the bathroom?
No, thank you. Trust.
You're not going to be mistreated at this facility. They will abide by your constitutional rights. If you change your mind, and you're going to get an attorney, but if you change your mind and you want to talk to me, I'm going to reunite those boys if it's nothing but with their mother's body. I know that's the sin. I know she's dead. Okay?
All right.
If you need something, just knock on the door. We'll let you go to the restroom or get some water, whatever you want, okay?
All right, I'm good. Thank you.
Ultimately, Kimberly Kessler was charged with the murder of Jolene Cummings. Sadly, Jolene's body has still not been found, likely having been lost in a landfill. But at trial, everyone had no doubt that she was behind the murder, body or not. And Kimberly seemed to realize that. Leading up to trial, she went on a hunger strike, dropping from 192 pounds down to 72 pounds. At her trial, she caused repeated interruptions, claiming that her court-appointed attorney was related to Jolene.
Jordan Beard is Jolene Cummings' cousin.
Spoiler alert, he wasn't. Ultimately, Kimberly was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Jolene Cummings, though police are still investigating how many crimes she may be behind. In her possession at the time of her arrest, police located a journal with a hit list. 2 of the people on that list reportedly died under suspicious circumstances, and others, well, police are still trying to decode who and where they are in Kimberly's twisted timeline. Our thoughts are with Jolene Cummings' parents, children, and loved ones, of whom she had many. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.